Hello, my name is Derek Afasi. Today's topic I want to discuss with you indexed annuities. Some of the terms that they're called is fixed indexed annuities, equity indexed annuities. Essentially, what the whole purpose of a fixed indexed annuity and why they came about was for safety purposes and for conservative growth purposes. What I mean by that, and I have different videos out there, I want you to please view them. It goes over immediate annuities, fixed annuities, variable annuities, why I do not like variable annuities, the hybrid annuities, equity index annuities, different things like that, the types of annuities. One of the things that we learned with the regular fixed annuity is it's just like a bank CD. You give X amount of money to the company, to the insurance company, because only insurance companies can actually offer annuities. And what they do is they give you a set rate of return, a fixed rate of return that you will be accruing every single year. Now, unfortunately, interest rates are so low. Everything is so low. So the guarantees are so measly, maybe 1-2%. It does better, about 2 to 3 times better than a typical bank CD, but you still are not, you're barely going to keep pace with inflation. Rule of thumb is inflation increases by about 3% every year. Inflation just means the cost of goods, everything that will basically be increasing. Hence, a car 20 years ago was a lot cheaper than a car today. A gallon of milk 20 years ago is a lot cheaper than a gallon of milk today. So different things, costs of goods, different things are going to be going up. Power of inflation. So you say, well, okay, I like the idea of a fixed annuity, meaning that my principal is preserved and I'm guaranteeing an interest rate, but I want to participate in something that will allow me to have better rates of return than that measly number, than that measly fixed number. One of the alternatives was a variable annuity. What I've taught you in other videos with the variable annuity is it allows you to participate when your funds do well, because obviously that's what your funds are in, but they have extremely high amount of fees. So variable annuities are absolutely horrible in a sideways market and a downward market, because a variable annuity, your money is at risk, it's variable. You get hit with downward market loss, you get hit with the high fees, and you get hit if you're taking income. It's called double reverse dollar cost averaging, and it could liquidate your accounts so fast that it is extremely scary, and I've had to save a lot of clients from variable annuities. So essentially, in about the mid-90s, 1994, insurance companies, they tried to determine how exactly could we have that safety with conservative growth that could mimic the stock market. Hence why they came out with fixed annuities, fixed index annuities. What they did was, the insurance company takes your money and guarantees your contract. It's a guaranteed insurance contract, so it's different. It plays by the same rules as an immediate annuity and a fixed annuity regarding the legal reserve system requirements, meaning that you have to be backed by reinsurers, you have to have dollar for dollar in reserves, a lot different than with the variable annuity, which does not have a legal reserve system. Because it says the word fixed, it allows you to have that legal reserve system, and they have to be accepted by the state in order to be, it has to be accepted in your state in order to offer you these plans. An example of how a fixed index annuity works is, let's say you had $100,000. Indexed versus just a regular fixed. In a regular fixed annuity, they say, okay, we'll give you 2% interest. You have a 5-year contract with us. We'll give you 2% interest every year for these next 5 years. So the money's going to grow tax deferred, and just you're going to make 2% on 2% on 2% on 2% after the terms of your contract are done. With an index annuity, they state, well, the client doesn't want to have that measly number, and they want to at least participate in upward market movements. So that same $100,000 figure, what they state is, okay, listen, we're going to guarantee your principal. We're going to make sure that there's a legal reserve system backing in case that the company was to go under. We have tiers of safety to make sure your contract still stays into effect, and we're going to give you an interest rate. The interest rate that you are gaining on a fixed index annuity is now being invested in an index. It's going through a process known as options. Options are typically very risky investments. Now what happens is we understand that you would be receiving that very small amount of money every year off of your interest rate from a regular fixed annuity. So rather than taking your money, your $100,000, and investing it into the market to risk your principal, they'll say, hey, we're going to give you a fixed interest rate anyway. With that fixed interest rate, let's say it was that 2 to 3%, we'll take that 2%, invest them in something called options that are linked to a stock market index. It works pretty easy. It's a little bit more complicated, but the easiest way to understand it is, let's say it's linked to an S&P 500. If the market increases, it takes a snapshot every year. If the market increases that year, they're going to execute the option. The good thing is you're participating in what some of those gains are. The bad part is you get capped on those gains. Some of the contracts we offer could be anywhere 24% in a given year. It all depends upon what your allocation is. So you say, wow, you know, that's pretty good. It's a lot better than if the market's going up, I'm executing the option, and I could participate and mimic what the market's doing. Now, what happens if the market goes down? The reason why these products have been so attractive is because you have that fixed realm. The company did not risk your principal. The company risked your interest to purchase the options to then execute at a later date and time. So when you set up these contracts, you have these three main options. Some have multiple options, but three main options. You have an annual point-to-point, you have an average, and you have a monthly point-to-point. What that means is an annual point-to-point, let's say you put all your allocation to an annual point-to-point. The company may cap you at about 5%. That means that if the market grew 20% that year, the S&P, your account is capped at 5%. You say, wow, well, I don't really know about that. Obviously, the 5% is higher than the 2% that you'd be getting in regular fixed, but if the market was to decrease, the only thing you're losing is the interest. The interest is always being invested into these options and into these allocations, so your principal is staying exactly the same. The average, they basically add up all of your gains for that time. They basically add up all of the market performance that happened throughout those 12 months, and they divide it by 12 to see exactly what your average is. Typically, they have something called a spread, meaning that you capture a majority of your gains, but you might have a spread of, let's say, 2%. So let's say the market gained 10% that year, but your spread is 2%, meaning that your actual account gained 8%. So they're not going to allow you to capture all of your gains, but you could capture majority of the gains. The next allocation is a monthly point-to-point. That means that they might cap you 2% every single month. Month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every single month, let's say 1 month you gain 1%. 1% goes into that month. The next month you gain 3%. Because they capped you at 2%, you're only gaining 2%. So every single month for 12 months, at the end of the 12 months, they added that all up and they give you what that is. So if you have a 2% cap, essentially you could make 24% on your money every year. So people really, really like that. A monthly point-to-point is designed for if you feel that the year is going to be bullish. An average is if you feel that it's going to be a little bit sideways. And an annual is good for basically sideways / bearish. You don't have to all go, depending upon the contract, you could allocate it amongst all three of them. Typically with the clients that we deal with, We try to make assessments every year, make a determination of what the market's going to do. We sit down with them, kind of off of their ideas, off of their risk analysis, and we determine which allocations those are going to go into. So, essentially, what's happening is your money's being invested. If the market's increasing, let's say it's 100,000. If the market increases, you capture market gains. If the market goes down, let's say that this is a typical market. Let's say it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's choppy, choppy, choppy. You're capturing market gains. Market goes down, you flatline. You capture market gains. Market goes down, you flatline. You capture market gains. Market goes down, you flatline. Capture market gains. Market does nothing, you flatline. Or it goes down, you flatline. Goes up, you're capturing. Goes down, you flatline. Goes up. So let's say the next year the market ends like that. You just flatlined. So you started off like this, all the way down here. The market's doing whatever it wants to do, and you're capturing market gains without the downward market risk. Excellent, excellent products, but a lot of people said, well, I love that concept. I absolutely love that concept, but what is a way that I could really accentuate my income with the whole purpose of the annuity? And that's when the hybrid annuities were created. Hybrid annuities, essentially what it does is it's a fixed annuity, fixed index annuity with something called a rider. It's an income rider. What this allows you to do is it allows you to have a combination of all the annuities together. Hybrid. You have maximized income, like an immediate annuity. You have interest growth, like a fixed. Your principal is protected like a fixed with the legal reserve system. You have potential market upside without any downside risk. And it's extremely inexpensive. You have certain riders with variable annuities that are absolutely, it's astronomical the amount of fees that you will have as these income accounts. So essentially what happens with a hybrid annuity, it's a fixed index annuity with a rider. So you have your account value, which is invested just like those allocations, the annual, monthly. You could have a fixed in there. Fixed is extremely small, it might be 1%, maybe even less than that. You have the average index. So essentially you have two different sections of your money. Say you invested $1 million into a hybrid annuity, income annuity, fixed index annuity with an income rider. That's just a fancy way of saying it. It's just a fixed index annuity with an income rider. Your account value, let's say, is $1 million. And then they separate your money into income base. They understand that you want to maximize your income at a later date in time. That's why you would go with a hybrid annuity. They're income annuities. What happens is this income base gives you a set percentage rate regardless of what your account value does every year. Let's say 7%. So starting off from day one, the account value, let's say, gained 2%. Your income base gained 7%. Obviously, 7's higher than 2, so your 7% will always step up. The income base is always going to be whatever the higher of these two are. So if your account value is going well, perfect. Say if the market's going down, 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 your account value is staying the same, staying the same, staying the same. Let's say you're out, now the 7% income base, income rider, can last for 20 years, up to 20 years. So if you're age 55 and you say, okay, well, I want to make sure that I start taking retirement distributions at age 65. Peace of mind, I want to make sure this is guaranteed, so I have my legal reserve system backing, just like the fixed. I want to make sure that I'm participating with my physical money, participating with upside market potential without any downside market risk, and you want to make sure that you're maximizing an income that you can never outlive. So if you're dealing with 7%, regardless, absolute worst case scenario, with that 10-year time frame, you're age 55, at age 65, let's say the market didn't gain anything. You still have your $1 million. Now your income base gained at 7% every single year of compound growth. Not simple interest, it's compound interest. So at that point in time, let's say that number is $2 million. At age 65, what happens is the income base, this is an account that you're going to be taking income. That's where your contractual obligation is coming from. So this $2 million versus the $1 million of actual money. At age 65, the company allows you to take 5.5% of income that you could never outlive. So remember, like an immediate annuity, it's income you can never outlive. But rather than using an immediate annuity, you're surrendering all your money to the actual insurance company. This one, you still have your account value there. If you want to take the money and run, then you could go ahead and do that. But understand that every single year, because it's a fixed index annuity, every single year you have the potential to gain more than what you're actually taking in income purposes. So if the markets start going through the roof constantly, your account value is still being preserved. It's either you're participating with the upward market movements or flatlining whenever the markets go down. So your actual account value is preserved, and when you're ready to start taking income distributions, the company is contractually obligated to pay you. At age 65, we use companies that allow you to have 5.5% of the income base that you can never outlive. So it's absolutely, absolutely incredible. With this scenario, it'd be $110,000. If you had your money invested in the market and it was downward market the entire time, let's versus against a mutual fund, a general mutual fund, or an old 401k account. Let's say you just lost 2% every year for 10 years straight in a regular 401k account, and you never wanted to utilize one of these hybrid income annuities, the fixed index annuity with a rider. Say you lost 2%, lost 2%, lost 2%, lost 2%. You would have lost 20%. So your account value would have been $800,000. This is invested in the market, because when the market goes down, you're getting hit with the downward market loss. If you were to put it in one of these preservation accounts and the market was to decrease every year, with this scenario, your income account is $2 million. That doesn't mean that you could take the $2 million and run. That means the $2 million allows you to have a contractual guarantee off of the longer that you decide to take income, the better it is for your situation. So let's say you're age 67, the company allows you to take 5.7% of this higher number. So let's say you're age 65, you had your money in an IRA, mutual funds, you had your money in 401k, you had it in cash, whatever it was, but you got hit with negative 20% in the market. This account value, you didn't lose anything, because whenever the market goes down, you're not risking your principal, you're risking your interest. Your $1 million stayed exactly the same. You have a $2 million income account, and it allows you to take 5.5% guaranteed every year that you can never outlive. $110,000 that would come to you. Let's do the math here. Let's say you want to take 5.5% of this number. $800,000 times 0. This would be $44,000. That $44,000, if you were to take it from this account, just leaving it with something that could potentially lose you, that is susceptible to downward market loss, $44,000, not contractually guaranteed, or $110,000 that you could never outlive? Which one would you rather go with? This is why hybrid annuities are so powerful right now. With this one, if you were taking the $44,000, say if you live 20 years, this would be completely gone. Let's say you still left the money in the market, you had $800,000, you took 5.5%, let's say in a given year, you're like, oh, well, I need to make some money back. You lost, say, 10%, and because it's in some sort of investment account, you're also getting hit with, say, a 1 or 2% fee, so we'll just say a 1% fee. In a given year, you only took $44,000, but your account could go down 16.5%, even reducing it further, as opposed to going into a guaranteed insurance contract, the fixed index annuity with the rider, with the hybrid, also known as the hybrid annuity. Now, one of the reasons why I stress that you should leverage our company, you should leverage retiresharp.com, is I put together a series of videos. They're all free videos. You could basically see our YouTube channel, you can see our actual website, but I want you to obtain reports and I want you to obtain the personalized videos. I want you to call in, speak with a specialist. Reason being is, with these hybrid annuities, these fixed index annuities with the income riders, we have the best relationships set up with the top companies, exclusive relationships that other advisors do not have. There's only about 600 advisors in the entire nation that have the same types of product lines that we could offer. So I advise you, please give us a call, please view other videos, and we are here to help you, and that's what we want to do. We do not use high pressure sales tactics. We want you to be completely comfortable every step of the way, and we're just mainly here for your benefit. Once again, my name is Derek Afasi. I thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the other videos, and I look forward to your phone call.